see who's going to be playing against TY in today's grand finals. To the top left-hand side, our blue Protoss. This is herO. Up against the red Terran in the bottom right, it's INnoVation. So herO took down Su 2-1 so far in these matches today, and then INnoVation has taken down Stats 2-1 in some very exciting TvP. Actually, I really enjoyed watching the TvP between Stats and INnoVation. It was a lot of fun. So some more cool stuff here now, as we do see Reaper on the way out of this barracks to begin with, and the command center from INnoVation on the way up on the natural expansion as well. So Pylon coming in at the front and getting this going, and we just joined a minute or so in because I was an idiot and forgot to run ads for the first 20 seconds, so I just had to extend the break. And these guys get going pretty quickly. They don't wait around these matches in the Olimoleague. They don't wait around for anybody. What's up, Definitely33 coming in with the 3-month free sub on a streak as well. Thank you so much, and showing some herO heart in the chat. Do let us know who you're cheering on in this series, guys. Are you going to be cheering on herO? Are you looking to cheer on INnoVation? Who do you think is going to win? Let me hear in the chat. I want to hear what you guys are thinking. As you see this Reaper hopping up into the main base and going after this probe. Nice catch there initially, so probe going down. INnoVation against Stats did pull out a couple of fun different builds, obviously going in towards a more aggressive build here and there. With the Proxy Reaper into that Marauder Hellion time, it would be cool to see if we saw something like that again. We also saw him kind of an SCV pull, and that Marine Tank Banshee push as well. So, in general, actually a very aggressive series from INnoVation, never really looking to let it go past the 10-minute marker, and even shorter than that if possible. So we'll see if he wants to continue that trend here against herO. herO typically a much more aggressive player than Stats as well, so might be able to throw a curveball or two of his own into play throughout this. As we do see this Adept heading down to the bottom right, this probe pushed away as well by the couple of Marines. And the Adept just going to take a charge of being in control down on the bottom right-hand side now. Viking on the way up, Siege Tank is building, a couple more Marines on the way out, and we are seeing the few Marines just going to be able to push that Adept away. Gateway coming in at the front. And, well, INnoVation, just a Viking tank Marine force for the moment. Looking as though he's going to set up fairly defensively, but with that little bit of an aggressive option as well. With the fact that he's going to have, obviously, multiple tanks and a lot of Marines early game. Looks like he has seen this Observer. He pulls around, but the Observer also able to get away, skirting around and escaping out to the center of the map. Viking going to move forwards. And we are just going to see those Marines coming through. Scan comes down. Observer is going to get picked off. And we have the Viking coming in towards the top side here. Moving along as well. Shield battery will drop in the natural expansion here from herO. Just getting ready to be nice and defensive, nice and safe in these earlier stages, as we do see the Viking going to start pushing towards the main base, but not going to find an opportunity just yet, as we do have this army from INno pushing across. So 2 tanks, Marines. No Banshee support or anything like this. As we're going to see herO's War Prism flies into those Marines, doesn't quite go down, just survives. Well, that's nice because it keeps a little bit of micro potential in this army. Disruptor on the way up isn't ready just yet. There's not a lot of units in general just yet, as the Viking is going to distraction Stalkers in the main. They'll have to turn around and come towards the natural now. Tanks will siege up, forward Pylon. Will be a big target here as we see the Disruptor shot coming in. INnoVation splits, and he actually does okay at splitting, but the Disruptor also hits the building bunker. Starting to fight against this gateway now rather than going for the Pylon here. You see the Disruptor just wait, the Immortal actually just waiting to come in from the War Prism there at the end. Tries to target down the Disruptor in the back. Doesn't quite find it though, as that is going to be the Siege Tank out. So Siege Tank picked off. We're going to be seeing herO with a good defense here in game number 1. And INnoVation already going to be trailing quite heavily. Now we see War Prism speed coming up, a Colossus as well, and herO's just going to transition wonderfully into the next stage of the game. While INnoVation is still on a 1-1-1 setup, late on the extra barracks, third ZC just now starting. It's not pretty for him. Okay, he's got a faster third base, but he's up against Disruptor harassment, Colossus production already, and he is so far away from having any sort of real way to tech up in this game. I mean, he's even, one barracks coming in, that's not even the free racks you're used to seeing. Viking will at least turn around the War Prism with the Disruptors. Gravitic Drive, that War Prism speed is about to kick in, so with that Gravitic Drive, a lot more possibility here. As that Prism comes around to the right-hand side, and is going to drop off a couple of disruptors. So here we go. Going to move forwards. It's only a couple of SCVs attack shots, scaring the disruptors away pretty quickly. And we do see INnoVation with a little bit of a drop to try and get something done. Probe sees it though. That probe just positioned, also wants to take a 4th Nexus already. He obviously doesn't want to. 3rd is only just coming up. But he actually sees that drop coming in. So if hero's paying attention, shouldn't be caught off guard by this, but looks as though he wasn't. INnoVation drops onto the 3rd base, finds a couple of probes that are just long distance mining. Only kills 1 though. This back up obviously does not have stim, and so it's very limited what he can do with this drop. Into the back of the natural stalker coming through, and very quick to turn INnoVation around. One stalker didn't even need a warp in, as herO is very eager just to keep pressing forward with 2 disruptors to really, locate units and move them around a little bit. Well, he obviously feels as though he can just get in here. There is 2 tanks. He's going to have to be very careful of how he approaches this with the disruptors. Disruptor's going to pop off and go straight towards the siege tank, and he does get the tank on the high ground. Tank on the low ground picked off as well. SCV is pulling on the low ground too. There is 2 more siege tanks on the high ground still though. 13 SCV kills is pretty nice. Viking is going to commit itself through to kill the Colossus. Oh my god, it turns around. I actually really thought that was going to be a moment where you could potentially actually kill that Colossus, but not going to be the case, as INnoVation does lose the medevac on the other side. And he's just not getting any damage done at all here so far, as herO, again, that was the more aggressive nature of herO, right? He will see, okay, well, I've defended pretty well. Let's go and attack. Let's see what I can do if I move across the map. And the answer this time was not really a lot, unfortunately. 1-1 upgrades coming in from herO as well, so that is something he's behind on, funnily enough. Usually you see the Terran player behind on upgrades, but not this time. INnoVation, in fairness, is kind of alive at least, right? And definitely wasn't looking great for him with the way the game opened, but I still feel Killer's Colossus would have been in that little bit of a better spot. But otherwise, I mean, it's still okay for him, right? He's taken a 3rd base, he's down a few workers, he's down an army, he's definitely trailing in the game, but with a defensive position, if herO overcommits in a game, for example, it could definitely turn it around a little bit. There's definitely some different possibilities here. Army from herO going to move out again, so he's actually going to try and fight once more. See, this is what I don't know about, because I feel like you can't really fight into these tanks, etc. I don't think that really works for you, as we see a lot more Zealots warping in as well. Let's see how it goes down as we see the bio pulling back. He does have 1-1 against 0-0 for this fight. It's something at least. The thing is, the tanks now currently just wasting so many shots on Zealots. SCVs will have to pull in. It looks like the Colossus will probably be enough as he pushes straight on through. Wow, nice push from herO then. I wasn't convinced about it, especially with the tanks set up the way they were, but herO was, and he very much so just dismantles this army of INnoVation. He's up into the main base already. The Colossus jump up the ledge to help out very quickly. I mean, the siege tank pops out, lifted into the medevac to try and micro around, but the SCVs are dying so quick here. Warpers and warps in extra Zealots. GG from INnoVation. herO moves in from the advantage in game number 1 in the early game and takes the lead in this. Tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So look forward to that as we jump on into the bottom right-hand side. Down a map, our red Terran player. This is INnoVation. And at the top left-hand side, our blue Protoss player is herO. Quick mention, we will be doing a new replay pack of the Katowice After Party replays later this week, if you're interested in replays as a subscriber. The Olimoleague replays will go out on the Olimoleague Patreon. If you want to check that out, you can type in Olimoleague in the chat. And if you type in Olimoleague, you will get the link to the Patreon page. Do make sure to support it. The more support we get on the Patreon for Olimoleague, the more this tournament continues to happen, which is obviously awesome. We want the Olimoleague to live forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. Wardy, is there another IEM event this year? I wouldn't know. I'm not the maker of IEM. Nothing's been announced though. What's wrong with WSG? The lineup is whack. 90% no names. Well, it's a regional based competition. I mean, is it so bad that we promote players from different regions and give them opportunities to play and grow the StarCraft 2 scene? It doesn't seem like such a bad idea to me. It seems like the sort of thing we should be doing. Grow the scene, grow the competitive nature of the game, and, you're still going to have some sick matches in the groups. You're still going to get to see Cyril play and Neeb and Showtime and so many others. I'm not saying the system's perfect, but I think it's good to give people some other opportunities and, you know, give them something to work to, and again, some stuff like that. The Korean players, there's only like 3 or 4 slots for Korean players in WSG. That's why there's only 3 or 4 of them in the tournament. So it's, that's what's going on. Although GSL is up this week as well, so that's the next major tournament also going on. Make sure you keep a little bit of that. When casting, how do you select a unit and have the camera auto move? You don't. I actually follow this SCV manually with my arrow keys. I'm just really good at it. Now you click Control-Shift-F. So if you click Control-F, it will, and hold it down, it'll follow it, and then when you let go, it'll stop, which is kind of useful sometimes. But if you press Control-Shift-F, it'll just continue to follow it until you press Control-Shift-F again. Control-F's quite nice, actually, sometimes if you just want to follow the Reaper for a little while, and then it's going to hop up over here, and you're going to let go or something. There you go. Reaper pops in. Now let go of Control-F, and we just watch here stationary rather than watching the Reaper dance around a little bit. Anyways, when you see this Reaper backing away, early game, Stargate on the way up, the choice from herO, and it is proxied in the third base of INnoVation. So herO looking to jump into this main very quickly and to try and get some damage done. So Stargate finishes, Chrono boosts that Oracle, of course, no reason to proxy Stargate a Phoenix or anything. I mean, maybe you could proxy Stargate a Void Ray, but usually if you do that, you actually go into Oracle first, then Void Rays as a follow-up. As you do see that Chrono coming in nice and quickly as the Adept. A couple of Adepts going to go and chase down that Reaper. Up in the main, Reaper getting a couple of shots off there. These Adepts continue to chase as that Reaper pops down to the low ground. This Adept's still going after it, but I think the Reaper just didn't have the health to survive. It was close though. 3 more gates. This is very aggressive from herO, so definitely looking to do more than just attack with a couple of Oracles here. Sorry, missed the first Oracle diving in. Didn't do much. 0 kills. Marine's able to deflect it. So Oracle deflected for the moment, and I feel like with a Cyclone and a Viking on the way up, it's the perfect defense against continued Oracle production. And Adepts are going to come in here as well. The only thing missing is a bunker on the front. INnoVation really is being a little bit greedy, skipping out on that. Cyclone locks onto the Oracle. It's dead. Nice pick off. Really good pick off. And that takes away a lot of the aggressive potential from herO here, as he was looking to attack in very, very soon. Again, just seeing that Viking. Actually heading out on the map. The Cyclone's still sitting around. The INnoVation obviously doesn't know how many gateway units this is, and that is dangerous, actually. Still without the bunker up. He is getting a siege tank at least. That'll be done in a moment. And it depends on what gets targeted down quickly here. More Adepts and Stalkers warping in. Vikings still coming across the map. And here we go. Some Adepts will begin to shade forwards here. I mean, the siege tank is really going to be the big defensive part of this. That's going to matter a lot. Oracles jump on the tank right away, gets rid of it instantly. The Cyclone lock-on has already been wasted, although we do see 1 Oracle targeted down. The Marines, good target fire there. This is going to be a defense, although SCVs in the main base now in trouble as the Oracle comes in there for a few more workers. At the same time, though, this Viking gets 5 workers on the other side of the map. This wouldn't have been so bad for herO if he hadn't lost 5 workers. Now, as it stands, he gave away a lot of his army to trade pretty much evenly in worker count. And INnoVation, I don't think, is affected at all. INnoVation with the combat shield upgrade first as well, by the way, means he's going to be going into a bit more of an aggressive push. Combat shields means you don't have to rely on Medivacs to heal your units up, and it finishes faster, so you can definitely push with Marine Tank a little sooner in the game. He might not push now because of obviously the way this game has gone, but that was definitely what he was intending for initially. Twilight Council starting in the main base. Oracle going to come and hang out overhead with these 4 Adepts and 3 Stalkers. Oracle drops a Revelation, a few Marines in the tank getting caught in that, the Viking as well. And these units continue to gather together. 4 more Adepts warping in from herO. And this is going to get ready to push forwards through to the natural expansion. Those Adepts as they shade in. Ready to jump on this here. And here we go. So wave 2 from herO going to try this once again, but well, is there enough? I mean, the first siege tank drops down, but the SCVs pulling in again just means the Stalkers will not get in range of siege tank number 2. And this is another unsuccessful attempt here from herO as the Cyclone doesn't quite kill the Stalker. INnoVation just continues to build up, keeps on defending. And I mean, this position just gets better and better for INnoVation as time passes by, honestly. Dazzling Glaive starts up from herO and 4 more gateways. You can see the desperation in his build order right now. He's almost like, well, what do I do? This has not gone well for me. It's not getting any better. So he drops down extra gateways. He starts resonating glaives. The sort of setup that, I mean, you really are just all in with this here too. The robo facility is purely for Warp Prism. Get Warp Prism across the map and be able to maybe use that as part of the attacks and maybe break through with it. INnoVation ahead on workers, and obviously a Protoss player is expected to be about 10 workers ahead sometimes. So being equal on workers or down on workers is really good for INnoVation as well. INnoVation just looking great across the borders. Some Stalkers move up this ramp, but we'll lose one of them. A Cyclone lock on again, and that's probably a dead Stalker. Oh my god. How many times are the Stalkers going to survive with one hit to go? Well, Adepts moving up here. INnoVation trying to defend the third base. More Adepts have walked in from this pile on the left side. INnoVation will very smartly decide to cancel that, as we're going to be seeing Widow Mines going off initially. Kills the Oracle. The Adepts just died to the fact that there's just so much bio here. The bio able to turn that around, even without Stimpack and so on still. Nero's going to type out GG before Resonating Glaives even finishes. Can't blame him for jumping on the opportunity trap. Let's jump into game 3 of INnoVation versus herO. herO losing out in that second game, his aggression not working out. He's our red Protoss spawning in the top right-hand side. And he is up against the blue Terran. To the top left from Team Reciprocity, it is INnoVation. I still can't say it. I just don't know how to say it. I just don't know how to say it at all. Let's listen to a YouTube video. Come on, say it. Say it.
Reciprocity.
Reciprocity. Reciprocity. It sounds like a really bad EDM, track. Like it's like boom, boom, boom. Reciprocity. Bow, bow, bow. Reciprocity. Bow, wow, 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 wow. Reciprocity. Wow, 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 wow. And then like some dubstep kicks in or something. I don't know. Something like that. As we do see Probe going to move out on the map, and expansions coming down on each side here on a very large year 0, obviously between TY and Zest. We've got a nice long game on this one. Let's hope for something similar here between INnoVation and herO. Reciprocity. It almost sounds like Protoss City. Like Protoss City? Oh my god. Maybe that's why he joined the team. He's like, Protoss, Eddie. Factory on the way down is going to be finishing in a few moments on INnoVation. We'll get a little bit of an idea as to where this is going to be going to. Robo facility dropping down in the main base as well. As the Adept comes in, the Reaper turned away pretty quickly. We do see that warp gate just continuing along about halfway done. Fast Robo this time from herO, moving away from that Stargate build. Potential to get a fast Warp Prism out. Obviously similar to what we saw in the first game. And as that potentially went into the Immortal, it disrupted pretty fast the Robo Bay with the Colossus. That was on Kairos Junction. I mean, that's always going to be a possibility when you get that Robo Bay up, or Robo Facility, sorry, up early. It's always something that you can kind of look towards as an opportunity, as we see a couple of Widow Mines Marine and a Starport about to finish. So all of this from INnoVation continuing to pour on out here. Medevac on the way up as well, as we do see the Adept just going to be shading forwards. I'm just going to be joined up with these other couple of Adepts here on this ramp. We're going to take the top side of Watchtown. A couple of Hellions continue to move around. Medevac coming through, so Hellions probably going to dive in while the Widow Mine drop distracts elsewhere towards the main or so. So far, a nice wall-off with these Adepts, but unlikely they get left there if there's Widow Mines and so on to clean up in the main. We shall see though, as the Observer coming in from herO. He'll have some information to work with in a moment. I mean, he'll see the reactive factory. That's already pretty good info as to the fact that there is potential for Hellions. Extra barracks on the way down. Stimpack already starting from INnoVation as well. I like the fact he's changing up his build game after game here so far. Extra Stalkers warping in. Just going to be jumping up in towards the Warp Prism. And again, this Medevac from INnoVation about to head in towards the main. The Hellions still poised to hit the natural. And let's see what these Widow Mines can do. There's only a couple of them. There's the Warp Prism across the map too. Warp Prism. Oh, actually is going to be able to pick off this Widow Mine. So that's quite nice. Widow Mines here though. herO no response. 9 workers down. Hellions do fly by the Adepts on the low ground, but they obviously are not going to be in the best positions now. Widowmine's going to burrow. Oh, they're going to get shots off into the Prism. Friendly fire and splash damage onto Zealots. 18 SCVs down for INnoVation. This next Widowmine goes down as well as Marauder trying to kite away. There's a super low health Zealot that will finally drop. Obviously, herO down and hurting on the probe count as well. Another Widowmine or two getting that, but the problem is there is an Observer here to detect. Oh, the Widowmine kills the Observer with the splash damage. SCVs in the low ground helping to protect as well. The Viking will chase down those couple of Stalkers. And it will get close here. He will kill a Stalker for the Viking. 13 probes still down on the other side. The fact that there was a couple more little bits of damage dealt. Another Warp Prism build here as well, as this Widowmine is trying to corner the Stalker in. It's not working just yet. The Warp Prism about to show back up. And INnoVation, biggest issue for him is that he's not really been able to stabilize with more units just yet. Another Widowmine Marine. The Marauder is going to be huge here, of course, as the Stalker gets saved. But look at how many more units are coming across the map from herO. More Adepts, more Stalkers coming straight across the natural expansion. I just don't think there is enough here to defend from INnoVation. The only issue, well, maybe if he can keep this Observer alive, he can get rid of the Widowmines nicely. And then I think here INnoVation is in trouble, because I think a lot of Inno's army is reliant on Widowmines. That's exactly what happens. GG's called, and herO goes up 2-1 in the best of 3. The action will start down to the bottom left-hand side. A player who is up 2-1. This is herO. Top right-hand side, our Red Terran INnoVation. As we get this set up ready to go in this 4th game right now. TvP Bonanza today, guys. We cast a TvP twice in the round of 8, twice in the semifinals, and if herO wins this series, we've got TvP Grand Finals as well. As we get this setting up, get this going. I know sometimes it's nice to obviously switch matchups every game or so, but other days it is kind of nice just to say, you know what, let's watch a whole matchup all day long, and it's fun to see all the different ways players approach the matchup, the different things you see. It really gives you, especially as someone like, if you're looking to learn the game, obviously it's very nice, but you know, if you're looking to learn TvP, even as a caster, it's kind of nice just to kind of like really kind of lock down some of the ways that the game, you know, opens and the way the game goes. I feel like my PvZ casting increased tenfold after the Team Liquid map contest tournament, where we casted PvZ. I think it was something like 30 maps of PvZ in a row, because we had two best of 5s, 2 best of 7s, and a best of 9 PvZ, all be PvZ. It was crazy. Fallon finishes up here, and it is another proxy set up from herO. Stargate, the more likely candidate, because, well, what else is it going to be? I guess you could proxy a Robo. It's not really a position for Twilight Council. That's usually hidden away in the corner of a map. So probably just a Stargate Robo, if not. And that's herO looking to be aggressive again. Now, last time he tried this proxy Stargate, didn't work well for him. He actually pulls away with the probe. Nexus will drop down. Maybe something to do with the SCV scout, and seeing the lack of a pylon might just be a bit more aware of this possibility. As the Reaper, you can see, is already checking for some kind of a proxy around the map, just seeing where it might be, trying to figure out what's going on. But there isn't anything built, and it's just a Robo facility back at home from herO. Just getting set up into that. Reaper comes over, finds that probe. It's going to be a nice quick pick off here. And the probe is finally going to go down before it gets too much info on the natural. INnoVation has not built the natural here, and that might be one of the reasons as well why herO decided not to go for the proxy in the end. He's like, okay, well, just not do this because you're opening one base. Nexus does come down here from herO's INnoVation straight to a starport as well. So he's really going to commit to something early in this game. It's whatever it is, it's going to happen very quick, very soon. It's going to be crazy. Starport coming in, Tech Lab on the factory. Another Rax was getting set to build, but instead starts up the siege tank. Okay, now he will build the barracks. He's going to pretend this supply depot is an add-on. He's like, yeah, you know what? You thought you were going to get a Tech Lab? You're actually going to get this brand new add-on, never before seen on a barracks. You are our test run. It's called the supply depot. Now, what this does, it actually gives the Marines less. It makes Marines cost less supply. So every Marine made out of this Rax doesn't cost supply. Wouldn't that be sick? That seems like a buff that might make Terran balance again. Terran just shows up with like 500 Marines because they don't cost supply. So there's no supply cap essentially. Oh, it's brilliant. Alright, so just going to be seeing these few Marines coming forwards here at the moment. And obviously the pylon out in the middle of the map from herO still not serving much cause. Chrono boosting out this Immortal. It's the second one, so it's going to be very aggressive. As extra gates coming down, the Reaper is denied already as well. Hallucination from herO. But again, this Prism and units are going to move across very shortly. Still one base though from INnoVation, so I mean, really, for herO, he doesn't really want to move forward. He wants to just sit back and defend. With the Warp Prism Micro on Immortals, I feel like he should have a good opportunity to do that. Attack coming through the center, Marines and tanks pressing forwards. The Adept will shade ahead of the rest. Some more units gathering up on this high ground. The Warp Prism there as well. I mean, INnoVation with this push really needs to deal some pretty serious damage. You have the units pressing forward. Stalker taking a couple of shots. Warp Prism loads the Immortals, can relocate them easily now. Wants to get as many shots onto those tanks ASAP. Going all the way back in towards the main as a Viking here. Immortals actually going to try and deal with that, although the Stalkers will get the job done. Now, however, INnoVation might be able to get sieged up. The Immortals will drop down a little bit slow to actually target fire the tank. In fact, didn't get it in the end. Only gets it to half health, although it does siege up quite far away, so it's not in range of the Nexus here. Probes are going to pull forwards with this. herO knows his opponent is very all in, so he just needs to try and come in and clean this up, and I think he will. The Immortals taking a while to get rid of the tanks, but we'll get there in the end. The few SCVs remaining not going to do much either, and INnoVation's attack is shut down. herO, with a double Immortal play, is already just set up so well to deal with this attack. He's already set up perfectly to deal with an all-in.